Was cool. All right, we're live. I'm gonna double check the sound. Make sure. This, by the way, is our 700th show. I just saw the notice on this format. With the Be Live interface. So I would imagine we're going to kick a few more out before we launch the website. There's no linear pressure on the website. We figured that part out. Makes it a lot easier just to flow with it. All right, let's see here. Yeah, we got 5 people in the house. They're starting to come in. Okay. Hello, Sabrina Mick. She was on a few days ago. Great show. Soraya Williams, Kelly Jean McGrain. Good to see you again. If these shows resonate, please share. And thank you, everybody, for your continued love and support, contributions as we move to our dream of a multiple channel, 24/7, 365 website with a personal profile-based community. And thank you, everybody, for supporting that, and for those of you who are helping us put that together. Today, we got a special, typical Soulogy style, spontaneous, intuitive, creative, imaginative, having a show yesterday. And this brother was putting up some extraordinary comments, and Morgan Lee jumped on it and asked him to come on, and he was gracious enough to come on. So welcome to the SOULSPEAKS 5D, Lawrence. Thank you for joining us and sharing space with us today, honoring us with your presence. Glad to have you on.
Hello, everyone. I've never done this before, so
well, that's good. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah. A lot of people have come on this show for the first time to do a show like this, or a broadcast, or even be on camera. I even had some people that just had a black screen. But people are, I think people are coming out more and more. I find it very interesting to be able to sit across from you. We've spent I've spent 7 years on this path, really 5 actively, where I was actually had a laptop and wasn't using a flip phone. So it's always been, we were talking about it on the show the other day, when I started Soulogy, it was 2012, it was 65-35, 75-25, female to male. And now it's 64.5 and 35.5. So the masculine energies seems to be coming to the surface, the true masculine. And I could tell by your comments, your energy. So it'll be a good time to converse and explore, your journey. Have you, we were talking off camera a little bit, and you said you just go where spirit leads you. You're in Denver now. Was there a moment that you woke up and figured out everything was not what it seemed?
Yeah, it was I'd say the big impetus, the big push came in about 2011. The end of 2011, I got a call from Discovery Bank. They wanted money from my ex-wife's bankruptcy that was 3 years past. I found out that, in that process, a beautiful thing happened, that I figured out that money does not exist. It's a false narrative. The banks wanted me to go sue, the mother of my 2 daughters for the $14,000 they were going to come after me for. And I put the word out to the universe to help me understand the lesson here, what the gift is. And sure enough, the next day I was on an airplane to San Francisco to a conference and found out how to separate myself from the contract agreements that we have with this structure. Declared myself as a sovereign being, and I was just on this. I just left that world behind. I didn't get new driver's license renewed. I didn't get license plates. I didn't go along with the script that everybody does, because I was guided to, if I wanted to, freedom to be reflected back to me, I had to be what I wanted to be. In other words, I had to be what I wanted to see in my world. So I had to do it without fear. So Spirit pushed, pulled, and dragged me through a process of, a very humbling process. Because at first, when you find out that nothing is as it seems, you think you have to go change everything and fix everything out there. Well, my shadows are there to teach me never to attack the shadow. You just strengthen the shadows. The battle's all within. And it took me 16 months in jail before I got my court date to dismiss my cases. And my cases were involved with, driving without a driver's license and without license plates. So I went in with the idea that I was just going to make a statement. I'm doing my thing, and that I was guided here, so I'll be supported. And well, it took me 16 months to come into the realization I needed to come to be deemed competent to proceed by the universe itself, who's operating through the judge. That ended up dismissing my cases because I took the third option instead of taking the plea bargain, or instead of taking trial. I said, no, thank you, I'll take the third option. They said, well, there is no third option. I said, I'm sorry, didn't they tell you? They looked at me cross-eyed, and Spirit knew exactly what I meant, and that was essentially taking the neutral standpoint, and that I'm there to love my shadows for the lessons they bring. And it's through that forgiveness of self for perceiving the idea that the external world is separate from me, that I came into that place where I was deemed competent by the universe to go ahead and proceed. So they let me out of jail, and now I can walk in this world, this strange new world that I find myself, free of those limitations, or those constructs of limitation that were imposed upon me because of my beliefs. And last year, it was 2017, I was let out of jail, May, and it was October before my family kicked me out, because the family sold my truck and sold all my belongings to pay for all, bailing me out and doing all this kind of stuff anyway. I was basically, my family had to disown me because of the choices I made to go on this journey. And so last year, I was guided to spend the money as though I was abundant. And the money that I got out of the truck that was left over after paying everybody off. So I did. And then I found myself without any money out in the wilderness, completely at the mercy of Spirit. And it's a very, very magical place. It's the only place you're going to discover magic or wonders. It's not really magic so much as it is just mind-blowing wonders that occur, synchronicities that happen where everything's taken care of. And I spent about 6 months of last year traveling from Colorado through Sedona into Laguna Beach, and then I ended up boarding a ship or a boat, spending a month out in Catalina Island on the 33rd parallel of Avalon. That story, that's a whole nother story altogether, how I got there. We can go there, but again, it took me about 6 months of being in food lines, staying in shelters, sleeping in the forests, before Spirit basically told me in so many words that if you don't like your situation, it's your responsibility to change it, to fix it, to improve it. since I'd been through the gamut in the court systems, I realized that there are no laws. There's just false narratives that we agree to. So I started stepping into, well, my own ideas, because I knew money was a false narrative construct as well. And the whole idea of separation is where all this comes in. Is, have you heard of the One People's Public Trust?
No.
Okay. In 2012, when I found out that, money was a false narrative, I discharged over about $35,000 worth of debt and credit cards and bank lines of credit, and challenged the IRS. And
what do you mean you discharged them? You just said, I'm not paying them. Is that how you...
No, I actually went through a lawful process of discharging the debt. The same process as the attorneys use. They don't tell you about, that makes the debt go away, because in a sense there is no debt. Debt is an illusion. It's a false. Yeah. I mean, it's the moment you sign the note, it's taken out of your trust fund, and it's paid for right there on the spot.
Yeah.
And then it's the only the fact that you promised to pay it back, that the plus interest, that you believe that you have to pay it back. See, the banks are supposed to act as trustees, and well, that all changed, and it became a slavery system. And well, the One People's Public Trust, I came across a woman after discharging all my debt, and I had attorneys coming after me from Wall Street. I had bankers and FBI coming after me for what I had done, because what I had done, according to them, wasn't supposed to be, and they knew that I would have a difficult time in court. Anyway, long story short, after I had taken that leap of faith of discharging the debt by creating, basically opening an account, a bank account, and then closing the account, and then using the closed bank account with the checks, I go in and I basically create an instrument that taps into my trust fund, that discharges the debt, makes it go away. It just poof, it goes away. And it all went away. And then and only then did I meet another gentleman who came into my life by guidance of spirit, that put me in touch with another woman who, actually, her name is Heather Ann Tucci-Giraffe. She was a world banking attorney who was the lead investigator to the 2008 financial collapse. She, in her investigations, had proven that there was an existence of a planetary slavery system that encompassed all countries under the laws of commerce, under UCC. Well, I've been given all this information on law prior to that, and then I got all this information, so I knew my journey was going to go down this path of law. Well, Heather had basically given me the words, or spirit gave me the words, coming through Heather, that fended off all the law firms, the bankers, the FBI, the IRS, and they all stood down. Never heard another word from them. Thus proving to myself that it's all a lie. And so then I thought I needed to go out and tell everybody. And then I talked to people, and they look at you as, like deers in a headlight, cross-eyed, and it's like I'm like a kid crying wolf, and it's just like, wow, this is a lonely place to be.
I'm listening.
You know what I'm saying? And so I got the money and the FBI and the IRS and the bankers and the judges and everybody off my fanny. And then I started driving around without plates and everything. And well, that's when I found out how karma works, and because karma became instant for me, even my thoughts. And that's when I was guided to step into my purity with unflinching determination. Those are actual words that I got in my dream that I woke up with. Step into your purity with unflinching determination. And that's critical because we're in a time right now when there's the lightest of the light and the darkest of the dark here. And if you don't walk that straight and narrow path between the yin and the yang, you can be taken out. And I've been beat up quite a bit, been in jail back and forth in 3 different counties here in Denver, Colorado, I should say, as a result of driving without my plates. But it took me through those 3 counties to figure out. I'm just a slow learner. I just need to really ingrain it in my consciousness what the program's all about and what I needed to learn. But what I learned is that there's everyone lives in their own reality, and everybody has to be honored in their choices. It's up to us. This is what law is about. Law is about honor. There may be a lot of people out there that want to perpetuate the slavery system out there. Well, you know what? I need to honor them and their choice. Let them go. That's their journey, not mine. Spirit will honor me and my journey just the same. All I have to do is imagine what that would be and go ahead and be it and do it. So that's what I do. I live outside the constructs of money. I can walk into wherever I need to go to get what I need in the present moment, but nothing more. Or Spirit will have an aspect of itself step in front of me and say, do you have a receipt for that? No, sir, I don't. Would you want to put that back on the shelf? I say, sure, absolutely, no, thank you. I mean, no problem, I will. It's like, for example, I'm traveling up the coast of California last year, and they're projecting rain. So I thought I was going to need a tent. So I went into the store to go get a tent. During this process, I found out that, unless you push a door open, you'll never know. It's like, it's better to have tried and failed than not to have tried it at all.
Yeah.
So that's my way of thinking, my way of operation. So basically it's a fearless place you have to be in, which is called trust. Because under the awareness that all is one, and the one that's talking to me through you is the same one that's watching you through my eyes. I mean, that spirit that courses through you, courses through me and every other security guard at the grocery store, cashier at the store, wherever I'm going, the police officers, there's one that runs through everyone. And I'm a part of that one now. And by seeing that, becoming aware of that unity, that oneness, we can actually see the gift in our own shadows. And those shadows are actually pointers to us. Those things that step in my way that say, no, you don't need that, aren't there. I'm not there to judge them for stopping me for gaining access to a tent. I'm there to move into a state of acceptance and saying, oh, a spirit must be saying that I don't need a tent tonight. So I reside in my trust account, in spirit, the universe. And so I leave and I go about my day and I go to bed in the forest. And sure enough, it doesn't rain on me. It rains just to this side or that side of me, but it doesn't rain on me. And it's a beautiful thing. It's just like, when you do that for a whole year, sleeping on the ground of the forest or the beaches, bonding with the earth, becoming, one with the earth and with all that is, it's like, what better hands could you be in than the hands of spirit or the universe? And when you've completely surrendered to that, you're literally in the hands of spirit, and spirit will carry you wherever you need to go. I would get on the trains if I needed to get on a train to go. I would get on a bus if I needed to go. And I did all this without money. I would cross the Canadian border. I would get off the bus with all 50 other people that were on the bus to go across the border. we'd have to get off with all of our luggage, and then we'd get in a line, and then there'd be like 3 border agents and 3 inspection stations, and everybody go through that line. Well, I just walked right on by the line and went into the waiting room and waited for everybody else to do their thing. Well, because I don't have an ID. I know who I am. And I know that within you, there's an aspect of you or a part of you that knows exactly who I am. So I don't even need to speak to anyone. I just share my gratitude as I walk by the security guards, thanking them for this opportunity to come into Vancouver, Canada, and spend some time in the Stanley Forest on the Lions Gate Bridge during the Lions Gate in August of this year. I was on the bridge, across the bridge on August 30th on the Lions Gate, which was 11/11. And that's where Spirit took me for that date. So when Spirit wants me to go, Spirit will tell me through someone, through inspiration. Somebody will invite me to go, let's say, someplace. It sounds exciting. And then the grocery store won't allow me to grab the food that I need because they want me to go now. So I go. You just take everything that comes to you and you just go with the flow. You just trust in everything that hits you. There's no judgment in any of it. It's like, oh, what's next? So this is truly an adventure into the unknown. And it's in the hands of the one you want to be in the hands with. The one who knows where the hurricanes are going to be, where the fires are going to be, where the earthquakes are going to be, where the volcanoes are going to be erupting, where the treasure is going to be found, where that beautiful woman's going to be, whatever. There's just like this great anticipation of the unknown that resides out there. And the unknown is nothing but the dark, the darkness. The dark is the known and the light is the known. And that's what we do as we walk into the darkness, is we illuminate it. We transform it alchemically by accepting it, by moving into a state of allowance. Everything is energy. You and I are intelligent, infinite energy that flows through every particle of creation. The air you breathe. That's why they call respiration is inspiration. That's where it comes from. Respiration and inspiration, the same word, comes from the same source, because you're breathing atoms. And that's what we are. We're made up of an assemblage of atoms with an innate intelligence within the neutron that flows through the neutron of every atom. And so when you think of that in relation to the earth, as I think as Unity Grace mentioned, that we're the phospholipids of the planet. If the planet is a cell and we're the cell receptors, and there's a 5D grid that's about a foot below the surface of the earth, and our auric field extends beyond our bodies by about 8 meters, then we go into the earth as well. And what you do by trusting in the universe, by raising your vibration of your body, by treating the body correctly and the minds and the thought patterns correctly, you raise your vibrations, you attach yourself to that 5D grid, and you can walk in front of everybody as though you're invisible. But you're not. And it's just the most strangest, most bizarre feeling to walk by with a shit-eating grin on your face as everybody else is in line to pay for something. You're just walking by and saying, thank you very much. And you just keep going. It's just like, you have to do everything in transparency. Nothing is hidden. Everything is done in complete transparency, because I am the crystal clear light. I'm not the white light nor the black light, the dark light. I'm the crystal clear light in the center, in the I that I am. And in this place of transparency, complete truth and transparency, I be, and I do as I'm guided with trust, in this place of trust, because the one people's public trust were the words that were given to me to were multidimensional words that were given to me to hand to the courts that didn't free me until I came into the awareness I need to come into, because see, the universe knows exactly what my thoughts are. All thoughts are known. There's nothing hidden. I mean, it's like you think you need to hide from your computer system because it's a monitoring thing. You know what? You're hiding from your own self. If you got to buy virus protection, it's because you believe you have to buy it. If you put your trust in the universe, you never have to pay for any of that stuff. If you have to pay for it, it's a false narrative construct. It's not needed. And that's what I've been going through and moving into a state of acceptance with, is because there's all these beautiful people you want to go experience all these outings with, you know. I mean, I had a multi-million-dollar business before I let this thing go in 2009 and went on my journey to discover, you know, with all these amazing scientists and doctors and physicists and gurus and all these people. And what I walked into was just the most beautiful thing I'd ever done. I mean, I'm empty, but none of us can be filled with new information or new insight or new data, new higher awareness until we let go of the old. It's our detachment that is key to being filled with new information and to allow that flow to flow through, because we're energy. And if we move into a state of resistance, it bottlenecks, and that's what stops the flow of everything, and you come into a standstill and there's no more growth. And that's when things manifest into the body as illness. I've been grounding to the earth, and I've not had any of these physical symptoms of ascension that a lot of people have. You know, I'll get dizzy every now and then, and I'll get some back pain and, you know, headache every now and then. But maybe my eyes will even get a little weird. But for the most part, I don't get any of that. I get sick too, you know, get the flus and the bugs. But those are upgrades for the DNA. I allow those as well. I take them, you know, bring them on. You know, so everything is good. The universe is conspiring for every one of us to push us out the door to freedom. And the sooner we're willing to let go of our attachments to 3D, let the 3D continue on. You don't have to fight to fix anything. It has its purpose. And you know what its purpose is? To continually function as catalyst to awaken those who are still sleepwalking, or still the walking dead, as they term you in the courts, because that's how they view us, as the walking dead. Spiritually dead. In a funny sense, it's true. We are all so spiritually dead. We are led astray so far away because of this materialism that we're after, and this stuff that they put on the television screen that leads us astray. And you know, everything out there is just a distraction from the place of peace that resides within each one of us when we want to find that peace.
We don't have to do nothing.
No, we don't. We just have to be. In fact, your power is in just being. Be that love that you want to be. Be that peace that you want to be, because those people out there that are still attached to 3D, they're going to look at you like, what makes you so peaceful? Why are you so happy and peaceful? Because I let that stuff go. I don't need that. Well, how do you do it otherwise? Well, you know what? Here's how I do it. I can't tell, and I would never tell anybody to do what I do, because I would hate to be responsible for anybody not. I mean, the shit that I went through to get to where I'm at, I wouldn't want anybody to go through it. You need to be in your wholeness. You need to know who you are. You need to feel and be and experience being one with all. And you need to be in your purity of intention. Intention is the key to all of this.
Yeah.
As long as we hold that intention with purity, because whatever's best for you, as long as you ask what is for what you want is best for all that I am, we are, we are going to be supported and protected in that purity. There's a perfection going on in all the imperfection. Everything's perfectly imperfect for a perfectly good reason. Let everybody experience the drama, and when they come to you, you can be there for them. I don't need to go to anybody. I don't need to go fix anybody. Spirit will bring those to me if I have something to share. I have to put my trust in that, because I don't want to go out and push myself onto anybody. And there's no need to pay for marketing. There's no need to pay for, this whole new construct of reality, economics. Commerce is dead in the water. I'm just going to tell you, commerce is dead. It's, we're moving beyond money. Money will not be for very long. Let's put it this way. It's not in my life anymore. I don't need it. In fact, all it would do for me is totally screw up my new way of living, because I'd start making decisions on my own instead of, residing in my trust that Spirit's going to take me. You know what I mean? It's like if I had $1,000 in my pocket and somebody invited me to go over here, I could put myself in harm's way. But if I just be, Spirit will carry me wherever I need to go. I worked my way all the way up into Canada, back down to LA, and back out to Colorado. Not because I had an intention of coming back to Colorado, but because that's where Spirit wanted me to come. And so I just accept that, I allow that, and I just be. It's a very simple way of living, and I travel light, literally and figuratively. It's a bizarre way of living, and I'm getting better at it every day. And because we've been conditioned so long on having to pay for things that we need, and now 3D can justify or rationalize in their mind everything that I'm doing. See, the funny thing is, everything I'm doing is against the law, the 3D law,
the lawless law.
Yeah, because everybody abides by a fraudulent system of commerce, that they aren't even aware of, because that's their belief system. That was called consensus reality. We all consented to it.
Yeah.
But now, since 2012, I've been given permission that we can unconsent from everything, detach from everything. There are no rules. And I learned there are no rules when I went to court, because there ain't no rules, there ain't no law either, except universal law. And that's what I came into the awareness of. And that law is simply love. And, in the law of one. I mean, really, it is the law of one, moving center, not choosing to the ion, for example. An ion is an atom that carries a charge, either positive or negative charge, magnetic or electric charge. It's duality or polarity. Well, I reside in the I, or the neutron. I'm the neutron in the atom, and all just is. And that's the beautiful thing about justice, is it's just another way of saying just is. All just is. And you just go with it. It's really very simple. It's very peaceful. It's a very solitary journey. It's not something that I can take anybody on, unless Spirit embodies itself, within an instrument that wants to be beside me, or whatever the case may be, for whatever reason. But no, I've been pretty much alone on this for years now. My children don't understand. My parents don't understand. My friends don't understand. Nobody understands. I mean, the people, I share on Facebook more for myself than anybody else, because when I'm talking to you, I'm talking to myself, because I reflect on everything I share with everybody. It's because I learned that one in jail, when I spent 5 months in solitary for not driving, for driving without a license, right? Solitary confinement, 5 months by myself, because I didn't want to get a shot. I didn't want needles stuck in me. And it was the best thing that could ever happen to me, because that's when there's no distractions and all the information came in. And I thought this was information I was supposed to share with the courts about how I'm to love them. And, I had the script all figured out. And then it dawned on me, boom, a light switch went on. This was all for me.
Yeah.
In other words, we don't need to direct forgiveness to others outside of ourselves. We need to forgive ourselves. That's what that gift in the presence of another is. When they bring shit to you, it's like, it's about us. And then it's also not about us. And that's why staying in that central place of not taking on others' energies, honoring them, allowing them, and sharing just from a place of neutrality, you completely diffuse the situation. And it's like walking into a void, or walking into invisibility, or walking into a time loop, or a time jumping. I don't know what I'm doing when I'm doing these things that I do. It's just, it doesn't feel anything out of the ordinary. But it totally is when you can walk by. I mean, literally, I've come out of a grocery store and met a security guard who says, "Do you have a receipt, sir?" And I says, "No, I don't." So, "What do you have there?" And I had a sandwich in one hand and a salad in another. And he says, "Well," he grabbed the sandwich from me, and he says, "But I can have the salad." And he let me walk out. It's like, okay, well, I guess I'm not supposed to have a meat sandwich. Maybe I'm supposed to stay away from this because I've been having too many meat sandwiches or something. The bread's no good for you anyway. So it's like, this is the kind of beautiful things, freaking mind-blowing things that happen. They'll just say, "Have a good day," even. Wink at you, smile at you, and say, "Have a nice day," as you're walking out the store. And it's just like, it's a beautiful thing. It's just like, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's bought off by money. Everybody's playing their roles in the prisons, in the jails, in the enforcement services, and in the banking, because they don't know what else to do. So we have to have compassion for them, because if they don't do their job, they're not going to get money to the table. So it's like, when Unity said that there's this 60th gene, there's so many people, this threshold that we have to reach where shit changes like that. That's the only way I can see it happening, where, otherwise, my gosh, it's going to take years before, literally people are going to have to die off before this world shifts. But that's okay too, because I'm walking in this strange new world right now, and if there's anybody that wants to join me, I can surely show you how to do it, or at least tell you my story, and then you can decide what you want to do, because maybe I get introduced to somebody else who shows me a better way. Because I like Unity's made some comments yesterday on the show that I'd rather not take a bus. I'd rather take a ship, a spaceship, or just blink myself there, like Bewitched,
Yeah.
I should, because I exist everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm within every atom. There's an internet here, and I'm a part of it. It's just, I love that idea. And it's like, I got to stay open to that, because if I keep my mind closed to the idea of just buses and trains and airplanes and boats, I'm still grounded like the frickin' caterpillar instead of like the butterfly. I'm a butterfly. I want to be a butterfly. I want to be an eagle. I want to be more than that. But there is a whole strange new world out there. That's all I'm here to tell you. And it's a beautiful thing when you can set fear at the gates of heaven, because
Yeah.
it's here. It's here now. But there's no place for fear. Fear has, only love. Love. In fact, that's what was told me in jail. Love is the currency is the currency that flows through us, that pays our way through everything. And it's the only currency accepted by the almighty awareness of the universe everywhere.
Yeah.
Because they don't take the dollar bill in that star system over there, I guarantee you. But anyway, I'll let you ask some questions if you'd like to. I've cut a lot out because my story could go on for months.
No, it's just a conversation. I do have to ask you, what was that conference you went to in 2011 that started it?
It was called the American Freedom Conferences, put on by Gutierrez. They're no longer around. But nobody, none of those rules work anymore. I mean, I used to get traffic tickets. I got a few traffic tickets, okay, because when I realized what I realized, I had a 4-door yellow convertible Jeep. I put a taxi cab light on top of my Jeep, and I took taxi off of it, and I put free across it, and I drive around downtown Denver to make money on Fridays and Saturdays nights and make enough money to pay my rent and groceries and everything. That's all I had to do, because I trusted that Spirit would provide all the money that I need to get what I needed. And, it worked. And then I started getting arrested and stuff for violating public utility commissions, and pissing off the taxi cab drivers. And, oh my gosh, I went through all this stuff, but oh my gosh, I lost my train of thought. You asked me the conference. Oh, American Freedom Conferences. I got that status, affidavit of status, it was called, that declared my sovereignty. Well, I used to present that to the courts before I go in for a traffic ticket, and I walk into the courtroom, never have to say a word. The public defender would stand up, grab the police officer, take him outside the courtroom. The police officer would never return into the courtroom. She would motion to the judge that they dismiss the case, and I'd walk out without having to pay anything, or my insurance rates going up or nothing. But that went away after 2012, because more and more people were doing the same thing. So then they changed the laws again, and they created these other walls that presented themselves. And I met up against different walls and different times. And what I realized over the pattern of those years that I went through the courts and through the jails was that my darkness is working on my behalf to get me to see the unseen that they're trying to share with me. They were trying to point me to what the awareness I need to come to free myself, to dismiss my own cases, to become truly sovereign. And when I came into the realization, I truly felt gratitude within my heart for all the shit that I'd been through. But see, all this is like 2020. It's hindsight is 2020. You don't know until you get through the shit. So if you can just go through all your shit with trust, with an open heart and an open mind, everything will flow into you that you need to know when you need to know it. And you don't have to go study anything.
Yeah.
The information comes. You don't have to read a book. You don't have to go to a class. You don't have to pay a guru. You don't have to do any of that stuff. Just be open and receptive. Keep the open heart and the open mind are your parachute to this new paradigm. Yeah, they really are. It's amazing. Huh?
I said wide open.
Yeah, wide open.
There's no, can't throw any absolutes down. Everything but this or everything but that. I think it's fascinating too, because if anyone who's done just a little bit of research understands that whatever was going on here, and I believe what you're saying, it was a consensual reality, but there were rules put in place, and those rules were all based on that maritime and that UCC law. And but we can detach from that.
Yes.
We're energy. We can detach energetically.
It fulfilled its purpose. It really did. I mean, it's like we were children of God before 2012,
mm-hmm.
being ruled by darkness.
Yeah.
Because darkness, it's from the darkness that the light comes. They're the lesson givers. Darkness is the lesson giver. Yeah. And if we can be open-hearted and open-minded to receiving the lessons that they have to give, we can be grateful for all the darkness that we've experienced in our lives. And then, oh my gosh, your world just completely opens up to all that God created was good.
Yeah.
And it's like, there ain't no such thing as bad. That's a judgment.
Yeah.
That's an error in judgment or interpretation of your experience. But that's because we've been, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, hence the words, let there be light. I mean, if there was light, why would it have been said, let there be light? There's already light. So that darkness is,
Darkness is just our own known.
In my own journey, the first couple of years, it was dark, but I was lucky because I realized the value of it. It really didn't make my life smoother necessarily. Again, the 2020, I look back and I was right where I was supposed to be, did right what I was supposed to do, but it didn't always feel good. But yeah, that's a powerful statement, especially if you even just take it down to a sickness that you get or whatever comes your way. That's a powerful thing. And I've caught a few people over the last few years as I was traveling around streets and whatever, that had that fearlessness. Like, didn't matter what came their way, they could laugh about it. There wasn't going to change. It wasn't going to knock them off their square. And you're right. People like that, people take notice of. And 3D might call them crazy, but that's not crazy.
And darkness can never touch you as long as you reside in that place in your heart. It can't touch you. Yeah. It won't. I don't care if they've arrested you and thrown you in jail. All of a sudden you just get a call. You're free to go. It's just like, wow. It's like you walk right out. I mean, it's mind blowing. I mean, all I did is I don't, they want you to sign something because signing is consent. My signature is my energy now. I don't sign any piece of paper for anything. That's in a contract. That's a contract agreement. That gives consent to the rule of something outside of you. Oh, but sir, you're handing over your personal belongings. Well, I say to them, I said, when I'm taking off all my clothes to put on my uniform for jail, they want me to sign, that I've given them this, this, and this. And I just simply say, I trust you. It's okay. Don't worry about it. I don't give any signature. Then they can't tap into my trust fund, and then I'm worthless to them. Because otherwise, I'm a money-making piece of meat in their cooler.
Yeah.
That's how it works. Unfortunately, it's a real sad case, but that's all coming to an end as a result of so many of us waking up to the distortions and the deceptions.
Yeah, I didn't have 5 months. I had 34 days in the Houston County, and that was early in my trip. And but I have to say that those 34 days, even as I was living them, I was seeing, I was hearing, I was seeing, I was receiving, and I saw many, many dimensions. I saw probably more light than I ever saw anywhere else.
Think about it for a minute. Why do you think they call it a cell? A prison cell or a jail cell? It's a beautiful thing. It's it's paradox, really. It's for every bit as ugly as it is. It's also a beautiful thing and powerful thing. It's the experience. I went in and out of the Colorado mental health hospitals also because I would not. I was deemed incompetent to proceed, and I would simply remain silent because I felt I had no need to defend myself. I knew I was standing on solid ground, but I still didn't have it brought into context within my way of thinking because my pattern of thinking was still I needed to take the system down.
Yeah.
Well, what Spirit was trying to tell me is, no, you're here to rise above it.
Yeah.
You're not here to fix anything. You're here to rise above the structure. And that's what the word ascension means. Raise your vibratory rate, rise above it, and walk in amidst the darkness. And that's what your job is. That's what our job is. That's why we came here. We came in here. We descended into this dark realm to illuminate it, to embody the potentials that we are in this time as we shift from the yin to the yang, or the yang to the yin. I don't know what, but from one to the other. Polarity. It's just it's part of a cycle that we do this. This is what we do through eternity. In different star systems, at different places, in different timelines. So, yeah, we're time travelers. That's what I was told in jail too. I was told I'm here from the future.
Right.
I'm here from the future to fix it so that my future is better. Because it's the only way for me, my future self, to have a better experience is to reach back in time and inspire an aspect of itself in a past life to make a better decision so that future, because what we fix in the now affects the past and the future all at the same time, because all time exists simultaneous.
Yeah.
Because that's what we do, is we jump timelines. That's all we do is we can go back and forth in time. That's what we do. We don't know it consciously because we're in this conditioned experience, this collective mind.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah.
Crazy thing. Fascinating. Yeah. I've been through hell and back. That's the beauty of it. What didn't kill me, it burned away everything that it wasn't me, and forged my spirit. So that's all that's left of me, really. I am not Lawrence, the personality Lawrence. I would define myself, and I have given myself as the bondservant to the Creator. In other words, I am in service to creation. Yeah. So I go wherever it takes me. I don't have my mind's idea. I'm just taking it. I'm in the back seat for a ride. Just can't wait to figure out where we go next. Because if I set my scope on something, I'll probably limit my potential. So I don't set my sights on anything. I just remain open to everything and attached to nothing and go with the flow. I am yours. Wherever I go, and I go for free, and I share for free. I don't charge anything. Not that I could justify it, but no, what I do, I am free. I am home free. Not homeless. I'm home free.
There you go.
My home is wherever I find myself.
Powerful way to end the day. And thank you for sharing this hour with us. I'd love to collaborate with you again. And this platform is like you said earlier. Why you post. You post for yourself, and as the individual goes, so goes the collective. So we're all here serving
the one we are.
That's right.
Yeah.
So that's what.
And all I can do is share my experience. That's all I can do. Everybody has their own story.
Yeah. In their own way.
Yeah.
Yeah. And but yeah, that's and I've said that throughout these, and I'm not lost on the synchronicity or the alignment that this is actually the 700th 700 Be Live interface show we've done.
Oh, I love that. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, but I've said throughout these, I discovered doing these shows that, you know, we can channel, we can download, you know, receive transmissions, and, you know, but the biggest activations I've seen come from people sharing their experience, not from people transmitting or channeling, or just sharing their experience, which is basically an expression or an energetic compression of all their multidimensional aspects in that moment. You know, just how many people do you talk to and they say, whenever it comes, it just comes. Boom, I write it. Boom, it's done. You know. But I really would love to. Yeah, this is a platform for what I consider the highest activations we can get. You know, as I know, from what I know. I mean, I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying I've watched people do it. It just, and understanding, like you said, that whatever we're doing, it's affecting past, present, parallel, future of dimensions across the board. And I love what you said about we come from the future. We're creating a better way, and we have everything from the beginning, to the endless end and in between to pull from and revisit. Yeah, it's been a really great hour. I'm really happy that Morgan reached out to you during that show yesterday, and I'm really happy you accepted my friend request, and I would love to collaborate. You know, if you in the flow, if I reach out to you and you say yes, and if you say no, whatever, I'm not attached.
Yeah, I'm always around.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you for letting me share. I'm very honored. And
I am too. And thank you for what you've done, because energetically speaking, that we all have a piece of the puzzle, you know, and we can't underestimate the power of one unique and equal soul. We are breaking down energetic doors, and you've certainly done that. So that affects us all. Thank you for that. I'll talk to you later. Peace out.
Have a good night.
Best to you and your. All right. See you later. Thank you, everybody. See you tomorrow. We'll be posting the shows.